Hey guys, Clumsy here and welcome back to ETS2. We now have ProMods 2.45 activated, but that does mean we had to go back to ETS2 1.36 version, but that's fine. I think it's a very fair trade-off as 1.37, as we've seen last week, is a bit raw still, so I think it's best we give it some time, and in the meantime let's enjoy the new roads of ProMods 2.45. The main thing is that the Black Sea integration is now complete, so the Black Sea DLC adds a couple of countries by SCS: Romania, Bulgaria, Turkey, and those are now linked up with the existing ProMod cities like Greece, North Macedonia, Serbia, even Hungary and Ukraine. So that is like the major, all the road connections. I think they built like 10 road connections each, and our trip for today will take us from two of the new cities, sorry for the pronunciation here, Stip in North Macedonia. This is where we'll be coming from, and we'll be driving to Blagoevgrad in Bulgaria. So we'll be passing through one of those new borders, and then we'll be passing through again, so from North Macedonia to Bulgaria, and from Bulgaria to Greece, if I have my geography correct. Yes, okay. And then from Greece, we're not yet done, because this job will take us all the way through to the Middle East, which also received a huge update. We will be going to Damascus. So you can see the map here. Previously, the Middle East add-on only had mostly like the coastal cities here, but now you can see all these added as well in 2.45 Middle East add-on. So for today, we'll be driving to Damascus, one of the new cities in Syria. Yes, very cool. Alright, so might as well get started. The land distance is around 400 kilometers, but the entire distance, including the ferry trip, is almost 2,000 kilometers. We are still driving with the Scania 4 series with Krishbom's V8 sounds, if I remember correctly, the same one from the previous episode. Actually, not the previous episode, a couple of episodes back when I went back to the 4 series. As you guys might know, this is my overall all-time favorite truck. Just blends the right amount of classic and modern feel. We still have Rex there on our right. He's no longer blocking our view, thankfully. I'm really excited to see what the new ProMods version has to offer. Unfortunately, I discovered that RustMap 2.0 actually is not compatible with ProMods 2.45, so you have to remove RustMap. I was able to load the map with it, but I was getting crashes. It was not stable at all, and most probably the road connections were not working. So I just had to disable RustMap 2.0 completely. I think Sergey Aldimator and the other people from RustMap are working on a 2.1 version of RustMap that is compatible with ProMods 2.45, hopefully. But till then, we still have lots of places to explore here. So let's do just that. And by the way, yes, I am back from my staycation. Sorry for the lack of videos, guys, but I really needed a break. Really needed to get some me time, actually quality time with Mrs. Clumsy. So we stayed at home, but we were doing all the other stuff that we weren't normally doing in a normal day. So it's like a vacation, but staying at home. A staycation, as they call it. I have lots of stories there, and I'll tell you about them, but I'm not sure if I have enough time in this episode. So for now, let's focus on the map updates that I've gotten and the other updates in ETS2. So with ProMods 2.45, in addition to the main thing, which is the Black Sea DLC integration, in all the road connections and border checkpoints. They also added new cities and rebuilt some of them. 2 of those we will be going through, Stip and Blagoevgrad. They also added a couple more in, I'm not going to go into specifics anymore, but they added a couple of cities or rebuilt them. There is one in Poland, I think that's Szczecin. They have in Romania, in Serbia. Oh, what country is that? I don't even recognize that flag. It's like a blue and yellow, but the yellow is like triangular. If you get what I mean. Very nice scenery here. So in terms of mods, I have most of my mods still enabled. Google Maps GPS for that nice color of the GPS map. That's the Google GPS night mode, which is compatible with ProMods and has the Middle East add-on. Aside from that, I have, of course, Natural Lux enabled, and I have Project Next Gen 2.0. Oh crap, it's raining. Not the best weather for going around and sightseeing, but that's fine. It does look quite realistic. Also, you might notice that my frame rate is a lot better than usual. I still have the AA tweaks enabled, but I lessened it a bit. So that will result in a bit more aliasing, a bit more jagged edges, which we don't like. But I noticed that with the 4X, with the high quality anti-aliasing tweaks, my frame rate was really suffering. I was getting like almost like 30 frames at some points in some heavily modded and heavily populated areas. So it was not very conducive to driving. The image quality was great, but the FPS was suffering a bit too much for my rig. With the GTX 1070, I couldn't handle everything. So I had to sacrifice a bit, and I think this is the right balance. Just the right amount of anti-aliasing and still getting that very crisp, very smooth frame rate. I think we should be at 60 FPS right now. If you look at this, yes, 60 FPS. I capped my frame rate to 60. So because that's the limit that can be recorded and can be put on YouTube anyway. So that's what we are going with for now. Now if you notice a lot of jagged edges, let me know and I'll tweak it again, but I think this is the right balance for my rig. This is how it always is. You have to be always on your toes and continue experimenting, finding that right mix, because what a good option for one might not be for the other. This is why in my realistic graphics video I was not pointing out any specific like setting for everybody, because it will be different for everybody. It really has to be up to you to fine-tune it. Looks like we are at the border already. Nothing fancy. This is the border from North Macedonia to Bulgaria, I think. I'm excited to see when those pop-ups happen. I'm not sure where they occur though, and if they are implemented in all the new checkpoints and whatnot, but I'm hoping so. Anyway, we will see it if we pass through one. Okay, I have no... Oh, there is... okay, there is English. Border area. Okay, that makes sense. There we go, that's the one I'm saying. Oh, that's perfect. That's exactly what I was looking for. You guys saw it? That pop-up saying Bulgaria? It's nice. So you know exactly when you are switching countries. Because like in this specific checkpoint that we have, there is a transition between an EU country and a non-EU country, I'm guessing. So there has to be like stringent border control measures like this one. But if, for example, you are transferring from one country to another, like part of the Schengen territories, like I don't know, Germany to France, it would be nice to see that pop up, just to really let you know in case you missed the flags and whatnot. It's not as immersive because you'll get a pop-up, and normally I don't like the pop-up windows, but in this case I do like that feature. And if you don't like it, I guess you can always turn it off. I think that still works, I'm assuming. There is an option in the gameplay settings where you can just avoid any pop-ups from happening. That's the full immersive experience, but I found that can be a bit deadly. Like for example, this one, when you to start the border check, you won't get that pop-up at all. So it can be a bit misleading at times as well when you don't know that you have to do something, because the thing never pops up anymore. I hope the weather changes later. I mean, it is quite realistic. I love the reflection on the ground. Very nice. And it looks like a very countryside-ish feel of the roads we've been taking so far. No big cities, just small towns. Even the city we started from in Stip. Was it Stip? I have no idea how to pronounce that. You guys let me know. Even that one, you can really see it's like a very small town. Even the pickup points, the mechanic shop, they're all very compact. And we have to slow down here, because even if it says 70, you can imagine traveling at 50 kilometers per hour on this bend will get you some clumsy trucking business. Right, anyway, in terms of the ProMods 2.45 updates, they have also been saying something about the northern rescale. And I'm not really familiar with what that entails, but I think they had an issue a couple of versions back where SCS did something and their ProMods northern territories got impacted. And so what they had to do is to lengthen some roads, change some scaling to make it fit with the map. So I think that's what they did. They lengthened some roads and made it more compatible with how the map is, and now it's a more cohesive version of everything. I was checking the northern map a while ago, the northern area. I can see a couple of grayed out roads, so I'm guessing those are the remade ones. It looks like they lengthened some roads in Sweden and probably in Finland as well. Might be something we can check out soon. But for now, I would like to really focus on the ProMods 2.45 areas, not only in ProMods itself, but also in the Middle East, because that looks like to be a massive update compared to how the Middle East add-on looked before, like one straight road on the coastal route, which was nice. But compared to this one, the older version seems to be like a sneak peek. New cities in Israel, Syria, Lebanon, Saudi Arabia, and Jordan. For sure they also narrowed down some of the bugs, so we'll be checking that out. I'll probably be doing a silent trucking episode right after this one. For the silent trucking fans out there, I've gotten some comments recently like, you talk too much. Sorry. But it is a commentary video. But for those guys who don't like the talking, then yeah, probably the silent trucking series will be better for you. That's why I have both. Now, Blagoevgrad still hasn't been discovered. Okay. Frame rate has been great all throughout, even with the rain actually. I'm liking it. I'm not noticing a lot of jagged edges, so it seems like anti-aliasing is still doing a great job. Not as good as the 4 times, I'm using only the 2 times. But the frame rate is much better. At least on my end, hopefully on your end as well, guys. Let me know. Make sure in the video quality settings in YouTube you're viewing it in at least 1080p 60 FPS. Ideally at 1440 at 60. That's going to give you the best quality. In this one, with this frame rate, I even retained Sipinho's traffic density. That's why we have a lot more cars than usual. So this is like a win for everything. Slow down a bit here. I have not been able to get a nice screenshot worthy pose yet though, but I'm sure we'll find it eventually. I do like how the fog looks. It just looks so real. It's not very scenic, but it does look very realistic. This bridge looks very nice. That can be a contender. But yeah, expect a lot more ProMods videos. So I think I'm going to stay in 1.36 here in ETS2. And for any F-mod cravings that we might have, then we'll explore those in ATS instead. That guy, did you guys see that guy trying to overtake? Oh, he's at it again. Brave soul. Actually, let me do the same because this guy is super slow. Okay, maybe not. Let's maybe not do that with this guy. Okay, never try to overtake together with an AI because they will leave you hanging. Ooh, nice looking roundabout. Looks like the two exits are closed. First two exits are closed, third and fourth are good. It looks like we will be taking the third exit. Let's count. Counting with Clumsy. First and second are closed, they said. It's not really first and second, that's the first exit. This is the second exit, which is open. Fine. And this one, you can see the sign, goes to Athens. So we should actually start. Maybe we are close to the border of Bulgaria and Greece. But first we go through a highway. Nice. And is it just me or does it look like the weather is finally turning? Cool. Also here is where you see speed limit going up to 100 kilometers per hour. Wowzers. Is this still ProMods? I think so. I think this entire area is ProMods. You let me know though. Very nice. I think we are still in Bulgaria because we haven't gotten any of those border checkpoints or border pop-ups yet. If you have tried driving in ProMods 2.45, guys, let me know how it goes. What's happening here? Okay. Should I overtake or something? What's happening? Yeah, if you've driven in ProMods 2.45 and if you've driven through some of the areas, even the older areas and even the SCS areas, do all those border, like country borders pop up now, or is it only for these new ones? So this is my first time driving through ProMods 2.45, so I'm not really sure what they've done with it. I do like this one. Seems like a lot of traffic though. Lata. Border area, okay. Let me see. So trucks on the right side. I like this one. Looks like Looks like a more developed border control thing. I don't see an icon anywhere though. Is this guy moving? Or is this just props? This might just be props. I don't think this guy is planning to move anytime soon. Crap. Looks like we'll have to squeeze in on this lane on the left. Oh, it's too bad. It's only 1.36, so I can't lower my window. Very bad visibility at the moment. Squeeze in here. That's cool. So, what was I doing the past few days without videos? I was staycationing. Getting some R&R going. And me and Mrs. Clumsy celebrated her anniversary last weekend. So it was great. And I got her a Nintendo Switch. Perfect timing. It arrived, the delivery arrived the day before our anniversary. And we've been playing Animal Crossing since. It's like, oh goodness, so addictive. It's so chill, so relaxing. Amazing game. Ah, that's interesting. So both... Ah, there you go. Border control. Now we are in Greece. That's awesome. I wonder if that happens for all the other countries. Yep. So I'm not sure why you have this kind of checkpoint, because both Bulgaria and Greece have they belong to the EU, but why do you have these checkpoints? Maybe it has nothing to do with the part of the EU, but it's part of the Schengen territories, because that's the Schengen is the one about the border crossing, right, and not the EU aspect of it. So maybe one of these is not part of the Schengen region or something, or maybe they're both not part of it. But I'm sure some of you guys have more info on that, so let me know. I'll be waiting for you in the comments. Now, really not the best time for sightseeing, because it is pitch black. It is 9:20 in the evening. Boom gate in operation. It's fine. Let's go through here. I am loving the frame rate. I was starting to get a bit discouraged with the 4X A8 tweaks that I've been using previously, because the lower frame rates were really starting to get to me. I'm starting to notice it. Normally I'm not really picky when it comes to FPS, like I don't need 60 all the time, but sometimes it gets a bit too close to laggy, so my eyes are starting to notice. But here, yeah, I think I like it. When it becomes daytime, let's go and check out how the anti-aliasing works when we can see the buildings more, and we'll see if we still like it, okay? But yeah, I'm happy to see that you guys have been really enjoying the 4 series as well. When I first released this video, when I switched to the 4 series, I got a couple of comments, and some people shared screenshots in Discord. They have switched to the 4 series as well. So it's great to see that people are liking this, and I'm not just the only one. In terms of trucks, I think it was Muhammad who told me that Alexei P, I think it was, released a new mod of the Renault Premium, his own rendition. The Renault Premium with lots of config options. Very nice. I might check that out in the near future, but at this moment I'm still really enjoying driving the 4 series, so I'm keeping with this one for now. Why are these guys driving so slow? I have no idea. I am really liking this highway though. Very nice. The highways aren't as complex. These slow drivers. The highways are not as complex as the ones you are used to in in Western Europe, in Germany, in Belgium, in Spain. They're more straightforward, but they are a bit more scenic, more countryside feels. Am I speeding? Just a bit, just a tad. That's fine. There we go. And it's still raining, huh? It's been hours and it's still raining. Although now I think it's finally stopped. Yes, it's just night now. Let's see how far we have to go before we hit the ferry. So I'm thinking if I should sleep or if we should just wait till the ferry before we go. Yeah, I think this is fine. I think they also increased the number of, they also expanded some of the areas here. Like in Greece, I think they expanded some of the roads. Probably not maintaining safety distance here. It's fine. Maybe we can overtake that car. Stop please, thank you. Ah, this camper is a slowpoke. That might be pretty true to life though. I would like to overtake, but I'm turning right here. Thessaloniki. Actually not sure where exactly we're headed. And there are so many trucks, goodness. This is both a blessing and a curse, enabling SIP's traffic density mod. It is quite realistic that you have a lot of trucks, a lot of cars on the road, but it does become a bit of a hassle with the overtaking, isn't it? But I mean, if you wanted realism, this is definitely what you're looking for. Lots of trucks at night. And lots of cars during rush hours. Goodness. So yeah, what have I been doing? Playing Animal Crossing non-stop? It is seriously I'm more of a guy who's into simulation, right? I mean, the entire channel is focused on simulation. So I like realistic looking things. And if you look at the graphics of Animal Crossing, if you don't know what that looks like, go and Google it, Animal Crossing Switch, and you'll see it is the complete opposite of realistic. It's cartoonish, it's like super cute characters. So not really like simulation-y, but my goodness, the gameplay elements are so good. It's just like a super relaxing vibe, no pressure. Everything's just happy. Oh my goodness, I think this one is the winner. I think this is my favorite look so far. I'll take a photo there later. What city is this? I think this is Thessaloniki. And this entire road that we've gone through might be one of the new ones. This might be the extension that they added, connecting all the way to Bulgaria. There we go. Just a little bit of engine or exhaust braking to help with the stopping. But yeah, that game is just insanely addictive. And very chill, very relaxed. It's perfect actually for a staycation because we were planning on traveling somewhere before all of this pandemic things happened. Me and Mrs. Clumsy, we like to travel from time to time, explore new areas. explore new places. But yeah, we were stuck at home because of the situation. But that's as close as we can get. A virtual tour, a virtual travel kind of deal. Traveling to different islands, exploring new areas. And we could do it together because 2 players is wonderful. But yeah, the Nintendo Switch, all in all, is such an amazing console. It's perfect for socializing because you have couch co-op and you have like multiplayer functionality built into the games. So I think we have 2 games at the moment, Animal Crossing and what was that other one? Luigi's Mansion, I think. And we were playing with our friends online. So it's quite nice. Very different vibe from the usual simulation stuff that I get into. Although I do try to multitask. So like while we're playing Animal Crossing, I have on the side the desktop loaded up. And I set up my plane, I load up X-Plane, I set up my flight, I take off, set autopilot, get to cruising altitude, and while it's cruising for like 5 hours because the flight is so long, we're playing Animal Crossing. So yeah, and then when I have to land, then I just land and then continue. Multitasking for the win. But it's such a refreshing feeling, this staycation thing. Normally when you say staycation, you're in the same place or same country where you're at. Like for example, for me, we live in Singapore. So usually when we say staycation, we're still in Singapore, but we like book or check in at a hotel or something, right? And that's going to be the staycation, but you're not at home exactly. You're still somewhere different. But in this case, really, I think it's the first time we really did a staycation where we literally stayed at home. But it's quite nice because you can like let go of all the usual things you do. And like the budget you would normally spend for traveling, for booking a hotel and flights and everything, you can instead spend on fancy food, have something fancy delivered, like unlimited funds for food deliveries. So you can turn on the air conditioning the whole day and simple things, you know. But something I really appreciate, I think this was the advisable route. And then from here we take another, we travel a bit in Cyprus and then we take another ferry to Tripoli, I believe that was, or one of here, Beirut, I'm not sure which one it is. So I think it's this one. That would be more exciting though, wouldn't it? You know what I'll do? I'll take the long way around. Let's go here to Ashdod. And then we'll travel north or all the way to Damascus. And I might finish this in a silent trucking video. So we have that continuous effect. I just hope that the game won't crash on me. Okay. Everything just refreshed. 12:32. There we go. Okay, very good. All right. So if I look at this one, that's 286 kilometers to Damascus. Okay, so I do want to give you a preview of what ProMods Middle East 2.45 has. So I think we'll travel a bit of the way. Is Jerusalem new? And to be honest, I'm not so sure because I have not explored the entire old Middle East areas. But maybe let's stop by Jericho here. That can work. Right, and Amman. This is new, definitely. Yes. I think these two, Jerusalem and Jericho, I think they have been there before. But here, we can actually stop by there. Yes, take the long way around and discover as much as we can here. That looks good to me. So I think for us, we can cross the border and maybe stop in Madaba or Amman. We'll see where we get to. Okay, but yeah, just a long way around. In terms of ETA, oh, we have a lot of time remaining. We can drive as much as we want. So I'll make this a two-part thing, one with commentary and one for the silent trucking aspect for those who don't like the commentary so much. Which is all well and good. Okay, now we have pure daylight, so you can see exactly how the anti-aliasing is looking like. I do notice a bit more of the jagged edges, but I mean, with YouTube, maybe it's not such a bad thing, because YouTube kind of degrades the video anyway, to a point maybe that's not that noticeable. Look at that! Should I have dogs walking around here? Sniffing around. That's interesting. So yeah, so far I think the anti-aliasing is still good. And we have now crossed over to Israel. Oh, that's so cool. I wonder how they implemented that, because even SCS doesn't have that feature. This is steep. No car there. No car here. And now there's a car suddenly from there. Please stop, guys. Thank you. Alright. We do stay still on the right, okay. I think it was Cyprus where you had to drive on the left side. Do love the buildings here. The roads are smaller. The buildings are more compact and everything looks different. Oh, and you have those sneaky humps. Yikes. Let this guy go. I am noticing that in my mirrors though, it's a bit less quality, and I can notice definitely more aliasing, more jagged edges in there, but it's not that bad. It's just more noticeable if you look at it, but after a while I guess we'll get used to it. It's not perfect, but at least we still get that very smooth frame rate overall. I think it's a good compromise. Tel Aviv. I think you guys told me about that before. It's a real brand, isn't it? I think. And here we exit, going to Jerusalem. Oh, Jerusalem. Lots of people go here for pilgrimage and stuff, right? They've never been in the Middle East. Wowzers. What plane is that, guys? I have no idea. 777. I have no clue. There's the airport tower. So it looks like there is an airport in Jerusalem. Might be. Maybe we can fly there sometime and explain that is. Jerusalem on the right. There's a plane, there's a train, there are trucks. This is like transport fever right here. Speaking of transport fever, it's been a while since the last episode, huh? Not sure if I will continue that series. Really liking it, but not sure. It's not a lot of demand in the channel. I think the channel has grown away from those kinds of games, unfortunately. Because I've been getting really low views there. One of the lowest views ever in the series that I have. But we'll see. Maybe I'll try to continue a couple more. If you are interested in continuing the Transport Fever 2 series, let me know in the comments, so I have an idea. Oh, this looks lovely. Not so sure if this is ProMods 2.45 Middle East though, so I won't take a photo just yet. Yeah, I don't see it in the new list. Road 90 is what they say has been completed. Road 90 is now complete from north to south in Israel. Do love this view though. Man. Feels so different. Discover that. There we go. Oh, actually, no need. I was planning to turn right, but then it said discovered. So let's save a bit of time and let's go through here. So where do we go? One sec. I think I have the wrong marker. There's actually one more there. Can I not turn left here? There, I can. Interesting. Alright, let's do this as a bit of a preview for the upcoming silent trucking. Focusing on the Middle East. Definitely smaller roads. A lot more things going on in smaller areas. Dead Sea. Ooh. Let's have the Dead Sea here. Maybe we can get a bit of a view. Yeah, it looks like that's where we're going. Nice. Or is it? Looks like there is another, what is this, checkpoint? That looks like dog sniffing checkpoint. Wow, what is that? West Bank. I have no idea what that is. Is that like a tourist destination? Or, I mean, a landmark? Maybe not a tourist destination, but interesting. If anyone knows what that is, let me know in the comments. Because that was what I was hoping for. Remember when I was talking about when ProMods 2.45 was not yet out? And we were talking about the new feature I saw popping up. Was nice. So hopefully they really added that, not only for the country checkpoints, but for the landmarks as well. Like for example, the Dead Sea. When you pass through the Dead Sea, maybe it can pop up something like that. I have no idea how that works. Minus 300, is that sea level? Like we are below sea level? Or did that mean we passed by already? I remember we went through here at one point. Well, maybe not exactly here. Maybe in this area. Ah, there's the Dead Sea. Probably, huh? But this is where we're going. Looks good. Bit low res textures there in the distance. Yeah, a bit washed off. All good, all good. Right. I think that's enough of a preview for now. Just the right length of the video. Let's maybe cross this checkpoint. And then we'll continue the rest of the trip in a silent trucking vid. Yeah, very low res. I wonder if they're planning to fix that. Or if that's something on my end. I I'm not sure. Maybe Project Next Gen has an impact on it. No clue. But let's go a bit closer. Maybe it'll look better. Still curious about the West Bank. Maybe I can Google it. Let's see if Google will respond to me. Hey Google. Sometimes Google doesn't work. Let me try one last time. Ooh, Jordan. The Jordan River. It is. Wow. It is Jordan, the place. And I know, guys, I am completely clueless about this area. But that's the great thing. These pop-ups are also helping a lot. I'm sure some of you guys are also not familiar with the place, but that's why you want to explore it, right? That's the idea. So even if we can't travel right now in this strange world we're in, at least we can travel virtually and check out these areas in the trucking world. Goodness, how many checkpoints have we gotten through just in this episode? 6? 8? 99? Right. The textures do look better from close up like this. Yeah. They just don't look nice from afar, I think. Maybe some textures can be replaced or something. Looking good. This is actually new. Well, Amman is new. So maybe this road connection is new as well. Yeah. This area could be new. I mean, those textures are not my favorite at the moment. Ouch. Looks a bit washed out. Compared with that with the high resolution textures of the road, it's a bit weird. I'm not sure. Maybe that's just on my end. Maybe that's either a mod conflict or a conflict with the AA tweaks I have. Let me know if you've driven through here. Let me know if that also looks the same for you. Like, yeah, look at that, like far away texture being all blurred out like that. That might be a problem on my end. Interesting. Yeah, because with the AA tweaks, I remember there's like a setting for like how like the textures when they would get loaded. But that might just not be AA actually. That might be a LOD thing, a level of detail thing. Well, we'll see. We'll have to see. Very sharp bend there. No indication whatsoever. Or maybe there was, just didn't see it. Just didn't look at it like that one. I really like the sign system that they have in the US. I actually like the US signs better. They're a bit more idiot-proof. Perfect for me. Like they have these speed limit signs, of course, but in addition they have these warnings that the speed limit change is happening soon. So like at this point it's not yet changing, but ahead it is, so might as well slow down. So that kind of deal gives you a very good perspective, a very good heads up that something is going to happen and you need to change something as early as now. And then when you go across those sharp bends, there is this like yellow or orange sign which has that recommended speed at which you approach the bend. That's very useful for me because usually I am very clueless about how fast I can be approaching a specific bend. This is why I suck very bad. I suck at racing games because I have very bad estimation skills, you could say. Okay, we exit here again. All right, all well and good. I also seem to have less stutters now. I remember before when I drove in the Middle East, I got a lot of stutters. And I was not exactly sure if that was caused by the map or some of the trailer mods I had. But yeah, now it's looking very smooth. But the stutters I get are very minimal. I hardly get any anymore. Alright, so I think we end here. Once we reach Madaba something, you get the gist. But it's nice to be back. Hope you guys are doing great. Let me know if what you've been doing the past few days, if you've been checking out new game, getting into something in trucking, checking out the beta, trying out the new mod, driving as you normally do. What have you been doing at home? Because I'm sure probably 99% of us have been driving or have been staying at home. Unless you're a frontliner, and if you are, then thank you very much for working for us. Right. I think we leave it here. Once we discover that, there you go. I think this would be a nice place to start it. Maybe I can refuel here. Maybe the gas prices are cheap here. That does look cheap, doesn't it? 70 euros per liter. I have no idea. You let me know. Alright, anyway, thanks for watching, guys. We will continue this trip in a silent trucking episode. Catch you soon. Glad to be back. Hope you guys are doing okay. Clumsy trucking, everybody. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, comment, share, all that stuff. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Catch you in the next one. Bye-bye. Look at the traffic behind. Yikes. It's going to be tricky to get out of. Have a good one. See you soon.